Good morning, everyone. I'm calling to order our regularly scheduled meeting of Committee of the Whole. This is our last Committee of the Whole of the year. And my name is Elizabeth Glidden. I'm the chair of this committee. I'm joined by Council Members Bender, Council President Johnson, Council Member Andrew Johnson, and Council Members Yang, Quincy, Warsami, Goodman, Fry, and Palmisano. We are a quorum of the committee. The only items of business that we have today are reports of committees, so we will start off with Community Development and Regulatory Services. Councilmember Goodman.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. We have 11 items that we're bringing forward on Friday for approval. Item number 1 is making a change in the seating requirements for liquor establishments to allow establishments with less than 50 seats between 25 and 50 to sell liquor. Item number 2 are the regular liquor business and gambling licenses. Item 3 is operating conditions for a liquor license, as is item number 4. Item 5 is the list of tax forfeited land located in the city. Item 6 is the Our Town application for the Hennepin Theater Trust for their curb appeal project. Item number 7 is the MOU with the Park and Recreation Board with regards to the East Downtown Commons lease. Item 8 is authorizing an extension of the parking operation on Parcel A. Many of you know we're working on a senior housing project on Parcel A, but it won't break ground till the spring, so this is allowing the parking to continue. Item 9 is probably one of the largest items on our agenda. It's our BTAB program. This is authorizing about $500,000 in contracts with organizations that do technical assistance for small and minority-owned businesses to get business assistance in commercial corridors. Item number 10 is accepting grants, and item number 11 is allowing the city to allocate $100,000 to the city of Robbinsdale for a clear housing project in Robbinsdale. Our HOPWA funding is a multi-regional funding source, and when projects come forward from suburbs that meet the criteria, we're encouraged to provide funding to those projects. So that's why we're providing funding for this project in Robbinsdale. I'll happily answer questions on items 1 through 11.
All right, I'll just note I'm not using speaker management, but I don't see anybody raising their hand. Next, we have Health, Environment, and Community Engagement, and I think I'll ask that committee's Vice Chair, Councilmember Andrew Johnson, to give that report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We had, let me get the report here, 4 items on our report. The first is related to grocery store requirements, specifically with the minimum sales floor area and off-street parking spaces, amending that in ordinance. Item number 2 is our Senior Citizen Advisory Committee appointments. Item number 3 are appointments to the Minneapolis Community Environmental Advisory Commission. And item number 4 is a Project for Pride in Living contract. And I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you very much. Next, we have intergovernmental relations, and I will give that report, which is that we have a series of actions relating to support for President Obama's executive action on immigration, and this is authored by Councilmember Cano, who has done significant work on that, and it includes setting up a city work group, amending our federal agenda to reflect our support, and then we will have a resolution as well. So that was the item from intergovernmental relations. Next, we have public safety, civil rights, and emergency management. With that, Chair, Councilmember Yang.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Vice President. We have 5 items today. The first item is the staff direction directing the police department and the city attorney's office to provide data on misdemeanor arrest, charging, prosecution, diversion by race, gender, age, geography, and offense. Item number 2 is a 3-year contract with Dakota County Technical College for emergency response pursuit training facility rental. Item number 3 is authorizing a contract with SecuroNet for video camera surveillance network services. Item number 4 is authorizing a contract with the League of Minnesota Cities for access to their online law enforcement training for police officers. And item number 5 is a annual plan agreement for 2015 with the Minnesota Department of Public Safety for the Police Department, State Patrol, to provide an instructor to coordinate training courses. With that, I will stand for questions.
Thank you, Councilmember Yang. Next, we have Transportation and Public Works. With that committee's chair, Councilmember Reich.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The committee will be forwarding 8 items for the full council's consideration. Item 1 and 2 regard 2 extensions of contracts for graffiti prevention. Item 3 is a special service district removal contract amendment with our service provider. Following items we refer to the Ways and Means Committee. The Fridley Filtration Rehabilitation Project. There's a construction phase service rehabilitation component to that. Item 5 is a municipal parking system. It's authorized a contract expiration of ABM Parking Services. Item 6 is a property insurance water treatment distribution service with XL Insurance Company for our water treatment facility. Item 7 is a 2014 Highway Safety Improvement Program, HSIP, authorizing submittal of a series of applications. There was a presentation in committee regarding that. And item 8 is regarding 2 low bids for activities of the department. I'll stand for any questions, Madam Vice President.
Thank you. Councilmember Reich, we do have a question from Council President Johnson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Councilmember Reich, on the extension on the contract with ABM from March 31st to September 30th, 2015, is that time, are we going out for RFP then, or what's the need for the extension?
My understanding that staff is in the middle of a process not to engage any other outside groups, and this will allow time to do that, is my understanding. But I don't know the elaboration of what the follow-up steps are, but I imagine it's the typical search for service, but I can confer that between now and Friday.
Okay. Then the other question I have is on item 6, that we're getting property insurance for the city's water treatment and distribution services facilities. Is that, why do we purchase insurance? Maybe Mr. Ginder knows this. Or, I thought we're self-insured.
The general premise is that we are self-insured, and we will soon revert to that way to accommodate our insurance needs with a facility. But we were in an agreement with some other outside entity that required it as part of some cost participation.
Okay.
And so we just did it on a one-time
I
basis.
see. Thank you.
All right, we have one more question from Councilmember Quincy.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. And it's really not a question. It's kind of a more of a comment. Ways and Means Committee heard the Fridley water plant presentation. That's obviously a significant amount of money, but just wanted to compliment the city staff and in its not only its presentation, but its ongoing work on that preservation and updating of that critical infrastructure piece, and thank Public Works Department and the Transportation Public Works Committee for forwarding that on and having the opportunity to hear some more detail on that expenditure and its phased in process, and it's consistent with our capital long-term plans.
All right, thank you. We now have Ways and Means with Councilmember Quincy.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. We have the Ways and Means Committee has 14 items on our agenda. We'll be bringing forward on Friday, or whenever the next council meeting is. Legal settlements, there's a series of 5. There's a public service announcement donation. There's the appointments to the Minneapolis Television Network Board. It's the annual uncollected receivables write-off report and policy. We also have a medical review billing services contract extension. We have the Minneapolis Convention Center property insurance premium. Also the Capital Long Range Improvement Committee appointments by all committee members. And then we have the authorizing an increase in the contract with Northland Mechanical Contractors with Target Center Concession Stands project. We have the Intelligence Operations Platform, known as IOP, and the Minneapolis Emergency Communication Center 911 contract, extending a contract with Farstad US LLC. There's the Business Analysis and Project Management Services contract, the Human Resources Information System upgrade. This is an extension of a contract with Global Source IT for the PeopleSoft HCM developer. And the outsourced IT services confidentiality agreements, and then 2 new appointed positions brought forward by the Executive Committee, which is a Manager of Assessment Services and the Chief Appraiser. Happy to answer any questions on those items.
I'm not seeing questions. Last, we have Councilmember Bender with zoning and planning.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. We have just one item. It is a street name petition.
All right. Seeing no questions, we have concluded with our business for today, and we are adjourned. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't get to. I just woke